There is a deep truth few are willing to face and fewer still are prepared to embrace. Before God uses a man greatly, he often breaks him deeply, not to destroy him, but to prepare him. Napoleon Hill once said, "Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit." Understand this: God does not waste pain. The struggle you face is not punishment, it's preparation. It's not the end. It's the beginning of something extraordinary. You see, before a sword can be used in battle, it must first be forged in fire, hammered on the anvil, and sharpened by resistance. Likewise, before you are ready to carry out your divine purpose, you must be shaped. And that shaping process will test everything in you. Your plans may fail. Your plans may fail. Your dreams may shatter. People may walk away. But it is in that moment of brokenness that the breakthrough is born. The world sees brokenness as weakness, but God sees it as the starting line. Because when you're emptied of your pride, your ego, and your self reliance, that's when He can fill you with purpose, power, and clarity. Napoleon Hill taught us that definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all achievement. But many of us never truly find that purpose until we've been humbled, until we've been broken, until the noise of the world is stripped away and we are forced to listen to the voice within. So if you're in a season of loss, rejection, or confusion, don't run from it, don't resist it. Lean into it. Grow through it, learn the lesson, discover the strength, because God is not breaking you to destroy you. He's breaking you to build you stronger, wiser, more compassionate, and more powerful than ever before. Think about every great man in history. Moses was broken in the desert. Joseph was broken in the pit. David was broken in the cave. Each of them thought their journey was over, but it was just beginning. Likewise, you must trust the process. You may not understand it now, but you're being refined. You're being refined. Your strength is being multiplied. Your strength is being multiplied. And when the time is right, you will emerge not as who you were, but as who you were always meant to be. So hold on. Stay faithful. Keep growing, because God breaks the man He wants to use, not to hurt him, but to prepare him for something greater than he ever imagined. And when that moment comes, you will no longer just survive the storm. You will become the storm. Adversity is never accidental. It is not a detour from your destiny. It is the very path that leads you to it. Every obstacle, every heartbreak, every setback is carefully allowed, not to defeat you, but to develop you. God never wastes a moment of pain. In fact, adversity is often His most effective classroom, where the deepest lessons are taught, the strongest character is forged, and the most powerful faith is born. Napoleon Hill reminds us that every adversity carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. But that seed must be recognized, nurtured, and cultivated. Most people run from discomfort, never realizing that within that discomfort lies the raw material for greatness. You cannot climb without resistance. You cannot grow without pressure. And you cannot fulfill a divine purpose without first being prepared for it through trials. When everything is going right, we often become complacent. We depend on our own strength, our own plans, and our own timing. But when adversity hits, when the bottom falls out and the road disappears, that's when we are forced to look higher. When we discover who we truly are and what we truly believe. And more importantly, that's when God begins to shape us into who we were born to become. Think of the most powerful men and women in history. Every one of them endured adversity. Some were abandoned, some betrayed, some imprisoned, and some misunderstood. But they all had one thing in common. They were refined in the fire of hardship. What seemed like a season of breaking was actually a season of building. Adversity strips away what is shallow and reveals what is solid. It burns away the false identity and uncovers your true self. It silences the noise of the world so that you can hear the whisper of God. It crushes the illusion of control and forces you to trust in something greater than yourself. Preparation through adversity is not quick and it's not comfortable, but it is necessary. God is not interested in surface level success. He's interested in depth, endurance, and destiny. Why? Before He gives you influence, He gives you insight. Before He trusts you with a platform, He makes sure you've been through the pressure. So the next time you face adversity, don't curse it. Thank it. Don't avoid it. Learn from it. Don't fear it. Embrace it. Embrace it. Because every moment of adversity is doing something in you, and for you that comfort never could. It is preparing you for the very thing you've been praying for. In the end, the pain will pass, but the strength, wisdom, and faith you gain through the process will stay with you forever. That is divine preparation. That is the hand of God at work. Brokenness is not the end of you, it is the beginning of your true power. When life shatters your plans, your pride, and your certainty, something deeper, some covered. Beneath the surface of what you thought was strength lies a much greater force. Inner resilience forged not through comfort, but through collapse. It's in brokenness that you discover what can't be broken. Many people spend their lives trying to avoid pain, holding tightly to comfort and control. But real strength isn't built in safe places. It's revealed in the fire, in the pressure, in the moments when you have nothing left to stand on but faith. When you've lost everything and yet you rise anyway, that's power. When your heart is shattered but you keep loving, when your dreams collapse but you keep hoping, when your way is blocked but you keep walking, that's strength no one can give you. Boy, Napoleon Hill believed that temporary defeat was not failure, it was a test of character, a test of desire, a test of faith. And often those who achieve the greatest success are those who have faced the deepest suffering. Why? Because brokenness humbles you. It teaches you to rely not on ego, but on spirit. It crushes arrogance and creates authenticity. It removes the masks and reveals the truth of who you really are. Think of the strongest people you know. They've been through things, real things, loss, betrayal, disappointment, failure. But instead of becoming bitter, they became better. Instead of falling apart permanently, they fell forward. Brokenness didn't make them weak, it made them wise. It taught them compassion, it gave them clarity. It awakened a deeper power that only struggle could uncover. Good. You can't truly know strength until you've met your breaking point. You can't speak with authority until your voice has been tested in the storm. And you can't carry others until you've been carried through your own valley. Brokenness doesn't disqualify you, it qualifies you. Because once you've been broken and rebuilt, your foundation is unshakable. You no longer fear falling because you've already fallen and risen again. God allows brokenness not to harm you, but to heal what you didn't know was wounded. He breaks you down to build you back stronger, with purpose in your steps and fire in your soul. He uses broken vessels to shine the brightest light because cracks let the glory through. What the world sees as damage, God sees as design. So if you are in a season of brokenness, don't despair. Don't run from it. Lean into it. Let it strip away what no longer serves you. Let it reveal the strength you didn't know you had. Because this breaking is not your burial, it's your becoming. And what will rise from the ashes will be stronger, wiser, and more unstoppable than ever before. Pain is not pointless. Though it feels like an enemy in the moment, it often becomes the very thing that introduces you to your greatest purpose. When everything is going smoothly, we rarely stop to question the deeper meaning of our lives. Yeah, we move through routines, chase comfort, and focus on the surface. But pain interrupts that cycle. It shakes us. It forces us to confront who we are, what we believe, and what truly matters. And in that confrontation, purpose is born. Napoleon Hill said that within every adversity lies the seed of an equal or greater benefit. That benefit is not always immediate or obvious, but it's always present. Pain has a way of stripping away what is shallow, what is fake, what is unnecessary, so that what's real can emerge. Often, the greatest clarity in life doesn't come from success, but from suffering. When your heart is broken, your career collapses, or your world falls apart, you're given a choice. Stay broken, or search for the reason behind the pain. Many people find their calling not on a mountaintop, but in a valley. They find their voice after they've lost everything. They begin to fight for others after they've had to fight through their own darkness. What once was unbearable pain becomes a message, a mission, a movement. The thing that almost destroyed you becomes the foundation of the thing you're meant to build. Think about some of the most purpose driven people in the world: leaders, healers, inventors, visionaries. Their passion wasn't born in ease, it was born in suffering. The mother who lost her child and now helps grieving parents. The addict who found recovery and now leads others to freedom. The entrepreneur who was once broke and now mentors others toward financial independence. Their pain didn't end them, it launched them. Pain wakes you up. It reveals what you care about deeply. It pushes you to question, to reflect, and to reimagine. It humbles you, deepens your empathy, and sharpens your focus. And when you stop running from it, choose to face it, learn from it, and grow through it, you begin to see the blueprint of your purpose written in the very places you once wished to forget. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to start asking, now, what is this pain trying to teach me? Because on the other side of that question lies direction, power, and destiny. Your story, with all its heartbreak and setbacks, is the path to someone else's breakthrough. What hurt you can now heal others. What crushed you can now call you forward. So don't despise your pain. Embrace it. Let it shape you, not define you. Let it point you towards something bigger than yourself. Purpose isn't found by avoiding pain. It's discovered when you rise from it and decide to turn your wounds into your why. When life breaks you, it doesn't mean your story is over. It means a new chapter is beginning. It may not feel like it in the moment. The pain, the loss, the confusion, they convince you that everything is falling apart. But what if things are not falling apart, but falling into place? What if the breaking you're experiencing is not meant to bury you, but to birth something new inside you? Breaking feels final. Dreams shatter. Relationships end. Plans collapse. You find yourself in unfamiliar territory, stripped of identity, stripped of comfort, stripped of control. And yet, this is the very place where transformation begins. Just like a seed must break open before it grows, you too must go through the breaking before you can rise. There is no resurrection without the grave. There is no breakthrough without the breaking. Napoleon Hill often emphasized that defeat is never the end unless you accept it as such. What appears as a crushing moment is often a calling in disguise. The loss you didn't expect becomes the lesson you needed. The pain you thought would ruin you becomes the power that rebuilds you. And the broken pieces you're holding in your hand, they are not your destruction, they are your design. We live in a world that glorifies strength and perfection, but the truth is that some of the strongest, most successful people you admire today were once broken. They've been through fires, storms, and dark nights of the soul. But instead of giving up, they chose to start over. And that decision to rise when everything tells you to stay down is what makes the breaking a beginning. Your breaking shakes you awake. It strips away everything that's no longer serving you. False identities, toxic attachments, limiting beliefs. It leaves you raw and exposed, yes, but also open. Open to new vision, open to true faith, open to becoming who you were created to be, not who the world told you to be. It's in this space, this messy, uncertain, uncomfortable space, that purpose is born. The beginning doesn't look like success. It looks like small steps, like healing, like quiet rebuilding. But slowly the light returns. Slowly strength replaces sorrow. Slowly you realize that what you thought was the end was actually the turning point. God doesn't leave you in the breaking. He uses it. He rewrites your story with the ink of your tears and the fire of your perseverance. He rebuilds you with greater capacity, deeper compassion, and unshakable character. And when you rise, because you will, you won't just be restored, you'll be transformed. So don't fear the breaking. Don't fight it. Know that this is not your finish line. It's your foundation, the beginning of a stronger you, a wiser you, a purpose-driven you. And when you rise from this, because you will, you'll look back and realize the breaking didn't end you. It awakened you.